Chelsea 1 foot in the final. Tuchel edges Antonio Conte at the bridge. In there, the game has just ended, and it has ended in the favor of Chelsea with a comfortable 2-0 lead. Something that would have even gotten worse in there if at all went as expected, because I saw Timo Werner missing out on his heater, a very good cross from Marcos Alonso that ZH failed really to bury in, and very many good chances in there that Chelsea really failed to bag in there into the back of the net of a team which goes by the name of Tottenham Hotspur. Some chances that they might regret when they really go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That is next week, and it's going to be, is it a Wednesday in there? All right, welcome to the Rokani Football Podcast. We come in here with what we call the match reactions as Tuchel sits down Conte at the bridge in there with a comfortable 2-0 lead in there. Chelsea getting a 5-minute lead through Kai Havertz, and Ben Davies really got all scored an own goal because of the miscommunication they had in there. They headed the ball and then it headed on him and it went back into the net of a team which goes by the Tottenham Hotspur in there. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Thomas Tuchel is really that manager who really looks like he's very thirsty to get another trophy in there for a team which goes by names of Chelsea. He came in at Chelsea in January after Frank Lampard was sacked, and remember, Thomas Tuchel was sacked too from a team which goes by names of PSG after failing to win the Champions League for a team which goes by the names of PSG. They lost in the final against a side which goes by names of Bayern Munich in there. So it shows you how serious these teams are. Even when you lose to a better side like Bayern Munich, they really come out and put you out in there and say you were the reason as to why we lost in there and you deserve not to be our manager. Then he came in through in January, he won the Champions League, he gave Chelsea the fourth position in there and they went to the Champions League, and after bagging into that Champions League trophy, Thomas Tuchel looks like he's not yet up there to the level where he wants to be, and he's really chasing in for the Carabao Cup in there, another silverware that thinks that it's the easiest to grab into this year, because when you look at the Premier League, to me it's already gone. Having played the same games with a team which goes by Man City, Chelsea having 43 points and Man City are 10 points clear ahead of Chelsea, I don't see anywhere they really match this team. Unless they really go and really beat it over the weekend, I think the next weekend in there, because Chelsea is playing a side which goes by names of Man City in their next Premier League game, and I doubt whether Chelsea has got the power to go ahead and beat a side which goes by names of Man City. If at all Liverpool came through at the Stamford Bridge and hit you by 2-0 into the first half, and you really came up and really got that equalizer in there, and I think if at all Man City was 2 goals up against a team which goes by names of Chelsea, I still know what Chelsea could really get back, because the way they hide that ball from you in there, that is Man City in there for you, I think would have been hard for them to really go ahead and win. And remember, Man City went to Stamford Bridge and won against a side which goes by names of Chelsea by 1-0. You remember that? So they are going to Man City, and Pep Guardiola knows it, that if at all I really beat Chelsea, I will be 13 points ahead of them, and the only battle you'll be left with will be that of Chelsea, will be that of Liverpool in there. So I think Thomas Tuchel, according to what I've just told you, he really feels like the only game he has got to come up and win, the only trophy that is sure that is winning in there, is this one of a team which goes by names of the Carabao Cup. And there is no way Chelsea is really going to go ahead and see itself not winning this one, because it's the easiest they've got. When you look at the other one, it's the Champions League, and guess what? In the Champions League, Chelsea is playing a team which goes by names of this. It's the team that Chelsea is playing. Is it Olympic? It's Lille in there. Yeah, Lille in there. That is an easy tie, but after there, where do you go? That is a big question in there. So Chelsea looks like this is the only tournament that they are into, and Tuchel thinks like he should win everything this season. And apart from the Premier League that is out of his reach, I think the Champions League is in his reach, and Carabao Cup, one of his leg is stretched into the final. It's in the final because this is a 2-game tie, and as we speak right about now, they have won this one comfortably in there. They would have even won it by 3-0 in there, but all in all, it's a very good win. Spurs have not scored in there for you. They wait to see what is going to happen at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next week in there. Now, let me tell you the positives that I've seen into this game. One positive for Chelsea: Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez has played close to 60 minutes plus into this encounter, and he has really played very well alongside Jorginho in there. That is a player who goes by the names of Saul Niguez. Remember, Saul Niguez has been really having a horrible season at Chelsea. The first game he played at Chelsea, he was substituted after the first half after having a terrible 45 minutes. The second game he was given to play, he was again substituted after the 45 minutes, and he had a terrible game. There is even a game when he was taken off the pitch in the 35 minutes of the first half, you remember? So it's really a positive for Chelsea to see to it that Saul Niguez comes in and plays that good into that game, and the manager really leaves him on the pitch for all those minutes in there for you. So Saul Niguez, kudos for you. Welcome to the English League in there. You've played well against one of the top sides, which goes by names of Tottenham Hotspur, and we wait to see whether Thomas Tuchel is really going to come out and trust you again and again and again. The other positive is Romelu Lukaku playing 90 minutes into this one after apologizing to the fans of Chelsea and the players of Chelsea and the manager because of what he really came out and said that Chelsea, his heart is not at Chelsea, and he has played very well. Lukaku, his hold-up play has been beautiful. He really had a very good shot in there, and he has used his body in there very well and studying very well the defense of Tottenham Hotspur, and he really had some good play in there. That is Lukaku in there. That is another positive for Chelsea. The other positive is Hakim Ziyech in there, who was not called in the Moroccan squad that is going to play the African Cup of Nations. That really shocked me. I was 100% surprised to see to it that Ziyech is not part of the Morocco squad. How come? How come? Maybe he fell out with the manager of the national team of Morocco, because right now in Morocco, he's the most high-profile player that plays for Morocco, according to me. I don't know any other player who is high-profile like Ziyech in there. So I will feel like, what really went wrong? What really went wrong to see that Ziyech is not into the African Cup of Nations squad for Morocco? But all in all, he has played very well, and to me, he's my man of the match. In there, he played very well. In there, those are the positives in there for a team which goes by names of Chelsea. When I go to the negatives in there, I think they would have scored more 2 goals that were really clear. One of Timo Werner who received a pass from Hakim Ziyech, my man of the match. He faced the goalkeeper, tried to loop him, and it went directly into the hands of Hugo Lloris in there. A chance that I thought that Chelsea would have taken to see to it that they really bury this game off immediately. Because a 2-0 result, you might look at it like it's really beautiful today, but when Spurs come in there at their stadium and they really go ahead of you by 2 goals in the first half, this is when you're really going to get to know that what you are really celebrating was not worth to be celebrated by that time. Because I really feel like a 3-goal lead would have been better, or a 4-goal lead, because Timo Werner getting a very good chance. Ziyech had 2 chances. One of those, if at all he concentrated, he would have really buried the back of the net in there. But all in all, that is past. So we don't know what's really going to happen at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in there. Tuchel is really a very good coach, but he really fails sometimes to really come up and score lots of goals, because his mind is so defensive-minded. He's defensive-minded, and I really feel like at a team like Chelsea that you have, with all those attack-minded players that you have, I see no reason why Tuchel comes out and plays 5 defenders in there. There are games like these ones of Tottenham Hotspur. Let Azpilicueta play as a right back. Let Marcos Alonso play as a left back, and let Rudiger partner in there into that central defense. Then you bring on You bring on Jorginho to sit into that midfield. Then you let the players like and Mason Mount and who else? Who else? There is a certain player in there. Maybe Carlson Odoi to play into the midfield three. Then let Lukaku, Pulisic, and Ziyech lead the line in there. Play a 4-3-3 one of these times in there, because you are really having a very good squad, but these attack-minded players are not expressing themselves enough to let that entire line for a player like Marcos Alonso game in, game out, maybe Reece James or Aspilicueta. It's really tiresome and tiring. So sometimes he even gets Carlson Odoi to play that line in there, something that I really feel that is not okay in there. So I feel like Tuchel should really come in and do the needful and go ahead and serve the best to these players, because he's having a very quality squad in there for you, and they deserve to be playing a 4-3-3 in there. Why play with 5 defenders? Why play with 5 defenders? I really ask myself, why play with 5 defenders? Why really? Because I find it hard to swallow. Yeah, I find it hard to swallow in here at Rokani Football Podcast, because why play with 5 central defenders? 5 defenders when you're really having an attack-minded team in there. You get? So however much it's yielding in there, but I really feel like this is really a disjustice to some players at Chelsea in there, because there are players that require more in there. The other negative is which other negative I've seen into this game of Chelsea? First negative is not banging in more goals, because Chelsea are really going to come out and regret it, because I know Spurs are really going to hit the ground running no sooner that game starts, and they're really going to go ahead and score goals at their stadium in there. Chelsea has been conceding in goals, I remember, unless otherwise N'Golo Kante and Jorginho have to do a very big job. They're really sorry for that. They're really going to have to come in and do a very big job in there, because there is no way you tell me that at London Stadium the game is going to look as it has been looked today. No way, no way. That's not how the game is going to look. It's going to be a different game altogether. It's going to be a different game of football altogether at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in there. But Spurs, oh my God, if there is the worst game that I've seen Spurs play under Antonio Conte, it's this one. They look like a side that had already they came in their mind and they had already given out this game. They had already given out this game in their mind. They had lost. They were beaten in the dressing room before they even stepped onto the pitch, because I never saw them putting up that Spurs fighting spirit in there. They never. If at all they really had put up that Spurs fighting spirit, at least they would have gotten themselves a goal. Or not, if they had not scored, they would have gone ahead to really put up a show at the Stamford Bridge, something that I never even saw. I don't even remember a moment of Tottenham Hotspur getting a clear-cut chance into this game. I don't recall it. The best I saw was a free kick from Harry Kane that was really fisted away by the goalkeeper of Chelsea, who goes by name as a Balaka, who is deputizing Eduardo Mendy, who is an absentee at Chelsea because he left for the African Cup of Nations for his team, for his Senegalese team in there. So I will feel like these are not things that we are really used to seeing in Tottenham Hotspur. Antonio Conte has been beaten, I think, for the very first time ever since he became a manager of Tottenham Hotspur in there. So it really shows you how much they've been ugly onto the pitch. Ben Davies, one of the worst players I've seen on the pitch, an own goal, and then going forward and defensively, he was looking rusty. Each and every time Lukaku came through, Lukaku had made an avenue through Ben Davies. Seriously speaking, it was a Ben Davies avenue. You get, each and every time Lukaku, Ziyech, he couldn't stop anything. He was porous. You get, when you look at Sanchez in there in the central defense, very, very much bossed down by Lukaku. You get, it was like everything was in the hands of Chelsea. Chelsea decided whether to score or not. You get, because all the best chances of the game were held by Chelsea. Tottenham, I didn't remember Song Heung-min doing anything we know about Song Heung. Harry Kane, very dull. His movement was stupid. Ndombele is the one that really tried to come out and boss the midfield in there, but those, I remember it was only one time when Spurs really got a free kick that Harry Kane hit very well and Kepa dived into it. So I don't remember any moment that Spurs came up and was threatening onto the side of a team which goes by the names of Chelsea. Chelsea bossed the midfield. Saul Niguez and Jorginho were really on their best game today. And by the way, we might even be coming here to really praise Saul Niguez when he was really facing a 6 side. A side that didn't even show up today. That's it. When you look at the lineup, Saul Niguez and Jorginho really bossed out. Alright, by the way, he played with a 4-man defense this time round. That is Thomas Tuchel. I'm even sorry because I thought I played with 3-3. He played a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, this is better because you're having very many attack-minded players and you're playing with 5 defenders in there for you. So this one was good. I really want to see Thomas Tuchel trying out this system more often in there because it really favors Lukaku, one, and this change really is really great. It shows you that there has been a very good communication in between Thomas Tuchel and Lukaku in there, because Lukaku came out and said the system that's being played at Chelsea doesn't really favor his play. So when you see to it that they've changed to a 4-2-3-1, I think it's a Lukaku influence in there, because players at most teams like Chelsea and Manchester United, they have a lot of power. There is a lot of player power because Rudiger led to the sacking of a player who goes by the names of, to the manager who goes by names of Frank Lampard. You get? So Frank Lampard was sacked. After Lampard was sacked, Rudiger is now one of the best defenders in the world, in the Premier League especially. Being one of the best players in the Premier League, especially in defense, just puts you way up there on the list of the current best world defenders, because the Premier League is the best league in the world. You get? And if I told you to talk about the best player in the world right now is in the Premier League, it's Mohamed Salah. So that means that Rudiger right now is one of the top best players or defenders in the world. And he got Lampard sacked. We know the likes of Eden Hazard led to the sacking of Jose Mourinho. You remember the second time Mourinho came in at Chelsea? He was sacked because of those players in there. So it looks like it's all over for a team which goes by the name of Spurs, and not over again, because you never know what happens in the game of football. However much Chelsea are really having one foot into the final, we don't know what's really going to happen in there, because it takes a second for a ball to cross the line. You know that? It takes a second for a ball to cross the goal line. It takes just a second in there. So for all of those that really think that it's already a done deal in there, it's 50-50. It's done and not done. It's done and not done. And what is really going to show us that it's done, it's going to be the approach of Thomas Tuchel versus Antonio Conte into the second leg that's happening next week. Because if there is a trophy that Thomas Tuchel needs badly, it's this one. Because it might be the only trophy that's going to keep him on the job. Though at Chelsea, I don't think that when you win a Carabao Cup, or when you win a Carabao Cup and FA Cup, that keeps you on the job. What keeps you on the job at Chelsea? There are 2 trophies, a Champions League and a Premier League. Nothing else keeps you on the job at Chelsea. The only way you are safe, you only win a Premier League or a Champions League. That's when you're safe at Chelsea. But on the legacy of Thomas Tuchel as a manager, it's really positive for him to really go in and win this one, because when he wins it, it's really going to be good on his profile and bio, it will be known that he's a manager who came in at Chelsea and every season at least won a trophy. However small it is, but it is really a very good trophy. And it's no longer a small trophy because teams like Man City really won it almost 3 consecutive times. It shows you how big it is and how important it is to win a Carabao Cup into the Premier League in there. Thank you guys for watching in. That's what we had for you. Tuchel sits down Conte, Chelsea 2, Spurs 0. And that was my match reaction here onto the Rokani Football Podcast. Thank you guys for watching us in. Smash the like button, comment and share. Good night. We out. See you tomorrow because we're really going to be having a ransom.